Hi, everyone. Good evening. I'm thrilled to be here finally. It seems like we've talked about it for a while, and the day's here. And so I'm thrilled to be here. Thank you, Biggs Odyssey. Thank you for allowing me to do this. It's such an amazing privilege. And yay, it's sorry, I'm trying to figure out some. Yeah, it's World Book and Copyright Day. And it's another amazing time to actually talk about books. And I know over the week, even just talking to people or hearing them talk about it seems like, why do people celebrate books? Why shouldn't we celebrate the idea of reading books, writing books, and telling stories? So I believe we're just going to go straight right into it. My name is Rolanda Cornejo, as I was introduced, often known as Miss Rollies, because I run a book club for kids because we're also very excited about reading. And I've also noticed over time that there are children who may not like every other thing or probably even struggle with learning, but they find it easier when they get to read a book. And so we started Miss Rollies Book Club, where we don't just even use hardcover books, which is why I'm excited to be talking about it. So we use ebooks, hardcover books, because we also know that some children are not super excited about reading books. So you have to find a way to blend it in. So we have a book club, we have a bookstore, and best of all, I'm just thrilled about hosting events for children. Please let me know if you can hear me. You can just drop it in the comment section or wave or something. Just anything that will help me hear you, know that you're here. If you can hear me, yay. Okay, yes, I see a thumb up. Yes. Okay, yes. I see Dominic says hi. I can hear you. Thank you so much. So I think we can just begin. Um, are you helping me share it or I can share?
You can continue. We would help you share.
Say that again.
I say you can continue with the session. We'll help you share.
Okay, fantastic. Okay, you're helping me share. Okay, so let's go on then. I was about to present, so just let's go on. We can begin. I'm hopeful that we don't get to take time, and it's not supposed to be a class, a session. It's just, I think, another time to enjoy talking about stories, talking about how far we've come through the times, through the ages until now, and then where we're going to with storytelling. I don't know how, I see quite a number of us here. I don't know how many of you are actually interested in stories, but there's a story in everything around us. There's a story in everything, the people around us, everywhere we go, going to school, we wake up. And storytelling has always been what drives us, whether we like it or not. So the next slide, so it's easy. Whether we like it or not, in everything we do, there's always a story to tell. Everybody had. We went out today. We're back. If we ask everybody what happened, you know that there's one story to tell, which is why there's a reason to celebrate the World Book and Copyright Day. Now, the theme, I noticed that you'd see read your way, but the UNESCO says read your way. And we can tell that in every age, stories have shaped our worlds, like just as what we've been saying. In every time, stories have shaped the way we live. It's the stories that guide us. But now, because we've been delving a little into not even a little, we've dived into the digital age. And there's been a lot of questions like, why are we even, what happens to books? How do we even do books? Children don't read anymore, adults don't even read. But then the way we tell and access these stories is evolving. Are we actually moving with the way it's evolving? Do we even agree that it doesn't always have to be a hardcover book? Do you agree that it doesn't always have to be a hard copy book? So let's see how this goes. Next slide, please. Thank you so much for helping me share my slide. So, if you can share, go to the next slide, please. Which will lead us to the evolution of storytelling. Now, long, long, long time ago, you know that. if you were all in your history classes or in your different classrooms, you know that stories were told by orally, were told. Stories were just told. The things that happened in history were told. And then somehow, then we moved to scrolls and everything was recorded. That was the time where we needed to record events, record happenings, just to make sure that there was a copy that could be passed on. And everything was recorded. And then we moved to books. Of course, there were things in between, but then we also now got to books. Now, with books, it gave us something to hold on to. It didn't have to be a scroll that was saved somewhere else. But with books, it gave us something to hold on to. And then it meant also that someone could make one copy and then make 100 or thousands of copies, and people get to have access to it. But still, there's still, you can tell that there are still limitations to that. But now we read stories on screens, phones, and we also listen to stories. For someone like me, it's always exciting where, as much as I like a book, I'm excited about having a book to read. But the most beautiful part is having to get my phone. I'm bored and you can pick something to read, which was why we started, like I said, which is why I have a book club. And at the book club, we don't just read hard copy books. I ended up making sure that the children read ebooks from tabs, because a lot of children play. They like the idea of a book, but sometimes they're even struggling. So, and then it's a bit more exciting that they can read, they can play a game. So we say, okay, let's play these games. Let's have it on the tab where you can enjoy the screen, enjoy the pictures. You can also listen to it. And I can tell you that it's been a bit more exciting for them. So, which is where we are. There's this fear that technology is changing how we tell. There's this fear that technology will change storytelling. But I think that, yes, it might be changing storytelling, but then I think it's making it a bit more beautiful, because every generation has witnessed a transformation on how their stories are being told, how their stories are being shared. But then, why do we want to be left behind? Why don't we want to jump on the train for a better experience? Next slide, please. Knowing that storytelling has evolved, it's no longer just writing on scrolls, it's no longer just reading hardcover books. I know a lot of us still like it. It's evolved into listening. It's evolved into, like, personally, I like to wake up in the morning, or sometimes before I sleep, listen to a book or listen to something. It seems like we're listening to a podcast. Listen to something and just enjoy the story. There's some books I've always wanted to read, and the first time I see it is an ebook. Yeah, I'm also guilty because a lot of times I'm like, nah, it has to be a hard copy book. But then I'm learning to enjoy, because technology is not replacing books. And that's something I hear a lot with parents, from adults, that how can I be reading a book? How can I be reading a book, an interesting book, and then I go and pick a tab on my phone and read? Why? And it doesn't make sense. But then it isn't replacing books. It's just transforming how we create, how we access and experience them. Because even for publishers, there's this fear that, how am I going to ever publish a book when it's not a soft copy, when it's not a hard copy, rather? But then, no, technology is not replacing books. It's only transforming how we create, access, and experience them. So while you're listening, I really would like to know that you understand so far. Like I said, it's not supposed to be a class. We're just supposed to be gisting about it. Let me know again that you can hear me and that we're working together. So please, the next slide. Thank you. Sorry, you have to do this. Please, can you help me switch to the next slide? Okay, I think I can just go on. No, I think I can go Somewhere. Okay, so we'll be talking now that we've discussed the evolution of storytelling and also understanding that technology isn't replacing the books that we have, isn't replacing the idea of storytelling, but instead it's just going to be transforming the way that we understand and enjoy these books. Let me know if you can still hear me. You moved backward. I was trying to, should I share from my end? You can go forward to the next slide. Next slide. Let me reduce this. Sorry, guys, please give me a moment so that it works for all of us. Okay, so now we'll be going to the rise of AI, ebooks, and digital libraries. I'm excited that you can still hear me. Okay, yeah. We have ebooks, we have audiobooks, we have digital libraries, we have all sorts of things that are not like the books that we know. I don't know if any of you here has these issues. If you do, please let me even know. Would you rather have an ebook or would you rather have a hard copy book? Let me know, please, in the comment section. Let's see how that goes. Let me see how many people are like me. I'm not even going to talk until I see that people, because I don't see anything written in the chat. Hard copy. Thank you, ma'am. Yes, I can imagine. I know. Copy ebooks, hard copy ebooks. Let's keep going. Yeah. Okay, well, I'm hoping that you end up transitions, please. Hard copy books or ebooks? You can't even be quiet for me this evening. Yes, yes, I'm waiting. Hard copy or ebooks or audiobooks? Okay, I haven't gotten any response, but at least now I'm even seeing that two people here already are saying hard copy books. It's understandable. So, but anyways, there's been a rise of AI. We hear AI, we hear ebooks, we've heard audiobooks, digital libraries. But the truth is, and we need to remember that as much as we like these hard copy books, okay, well, she says I like, you say you like audiobooks too. Yeah, I know, but you prefer hard copy books, which truthfully for me too, but these days I've been enjoying it more because I had been, but these audiobooks have made it easy. I just plug in my headphones and then I'm listening. Now people say, I write, I'd like to underline or I like to write things in my book. It's true. So, but I can actually get to listen to it easier, faster, and it makes a lot of sense. Especially because we're in the times where everything is like this. So it's better we jump on this train and still find the time to enjoy the book. So, but let's talk about ebooks and audiobooks. Now, it's easy to carry around. It's easy to carry in your tab. You could have a library filled with over 20 books. You can't carry your bag and say you have 20 books. You know how books are heavy. You know how books are heavy. You can't carry that many books along. You're just going to see a friend, you carry a book. So, but this has given us the opportunity to be able to carry many books in one device, in one phone, in one tab, one little device. And then there's also been access to books. Now, a lot of schools have access to like digital libraries, and this has helped a lot because there's some people that say, okay, I don't even, it's not easy, I can't even afford these books, I can't even buy children. I hope you even know that this it's not something you just get by. But then we have people that are able to afford these books, and they can still get access to them. We have these libraries and we have them for free. So we have a couple of books stacked up, helping children learn how to read, helping children know about history, all of those kind of things. And because of this rise, this evolution, editing, and even co-writing stories, because it takes a lot of time sometimes to finish a book, check for errors and all of that. But then this is what technology is doing for us. It's making it easy. Now, personalized book recommendations through AI improve user experiences. I don't know how many of you, for some of you that do audiobooks or ebooks, if you're part of a platform, I subscribe to Scribd monthly. And after you have selected one book or three books, in fact, your registration, they ask you, what kind of books do you like? And you realize that after doing that, they begin to show you the kind of books, they begin to recommend the kind of books they think you would like. It's amazing because on your own, there's no way you probably have even thought of some books, and then it just pops up on your timeline or on your dashboard somewhere, and you're like, I think I would like to read that. Just right where you are. You don't need to walk into a store and go and pay for another book, but then it just pops up right in front of you, which I think is amazing. Now, right now, you can translate in as many languages as you want to by doing this. Just click, it translates, you can and you've done that in few minutes, and you tell it benefits us. It strongly benefits the writers, readers, and publishers. So I believe technology is doing so much for us with the book industry. And I believe that it just needs some embracing. It needs some more embracing, and that's it. So now there are opportunities for readers, writers, and publishers. Everybody has opportunities here, both the readers and the publishers. Um, Let me open up a little. So for the readers, for every one of us, or people of like, I don't know, I'm sure everyone here likes to read a book. Hopefully, you like to pick up a book, a feel-good book, something on adventure, something on history, whatever the book is, whether it's research or so. But now for readers, it gives instant access to millions of books, like we said earlier, on one device. I get access to books from all around the world, whether it makes sense or not. It just means that I can have, like for me, like I said, I mentioned script. I don't know, some of us do different things. On my platform, on script, there are thousands of books. If I decide that I want to read one book every day, if I decide and I am diligent and I do this every day consistently, the truth is I would have read quite a number of books because I have access to books, different genres, different languages, whatsoever. However, this is a good deal for me because you can imagine the time it would have taken. There was this book I was looking for, the rise. I looked for it. People would travel, and a lot of people around me started realizing that I was looking for the book, and they will ask around, ask. This one will go. I went to this airport. I looked for the book. I checked this big bookstore. I didn't find it. I did that. I didn't find it. And one day I remember that what's wrong with me. I have this. Let me check. Immediately I checked. I found it. That's an easy way. And then I didn't even need to pay for a book again. I really had already paid for subscription, which was even cheaper than buying a book. So I think it's an amazing opportunity now, which is why we said affordable free reading through public domains, through all these platforms. Now for the writers, self-publishing lets more people become authors. Now, if you know, with the Amazon KDP, you can tell that we've had a lot more authors. People are encouraged to write books, share the skills they have. It used to be a bit more difficult before because you could know how to do a thing or you could know a lot about a thing, but never ever think of writing a book. Now with these kind of opportunities, it's easier to see yourself as an author. It's easier to see that I could share my knowledge because when you find out that it's not as difficult as just thinking, getting who to inspire you, this, that, you actually, it's easier for people to just want to write a book. It gives them a wider massive distribution costs. Now, like I said, an author puts their book on script and different people from all around the world have access to that book. And that's faster and easier than what they would have done just by trying to distribute those hard copy books manually to the different countries. And then, it would be limited. We can send, okay, we just sent 1,000 copies here, we sent 2 million copies there. But then when it's distributed this way digitally, anybody all around the world reaches, they find the book. Now, that's why I think it's an amazing idea. It brings the ability to integrate multimedia, text, sounds, and animation. Now, for some people who like to write for children, who like to write animated books, you know how sometimes you like to hear. As much as I like books, I personally I like to feel. It's beyond just, how, yeah, books makes us feel everything. But then imagine that you read, there's a picture or there's a sound or something. It helps the little child too, who has struggled with reading boring books. It brings the stories to life for them. It brings the whole story. It makes them feel like, oh man, reading isn't bad after all. So there's something for everyone. Now, for the publishers, they can reach more people and understand what readers like. Now, what do we mean? Because these things are online, because these books are online, you get to know what people are reading. You get to know what kind of stories people like to see, what kind of, it just helps them know what people are looking out for, what are the needs of readers, what are people looking for, stuff like that. And it helps them now know what to publish, what not to. Now, it also helps them bring new streams of income through digital sales because now it's beyond just selling the hard copy books. But then they find ways to publish on different platforms from subscriptions. They just say, okay, subscribe for this, and then they get the money. So it's helpful for everyone. Everyone gets to be a part of enjoying the amazing evolution of technology. Now, but there's some challenges to these goodies because it's always easy to say this is good, and yeah, we always know that there's some challenges to these kind of things. Hope I'm not rushing, and I hope you can all hear me. I'm just trying to make sure that we also don't stay here too long, but I hope that so far you can hear me. So the challenges could be, first, we always know that there's always piracy drama because even with hard copy books, there are piracy, and then with digital books, it makes it even easier to just copy, paste, copy. I've seen a lot of books where you see that someone just copies something, and especially on this new Amazon KDP things, you just see a book that was probably written by someone else. Someone just copies, and says five this to do this, and then they authored by Rolanda Benedio, and I am an author. So these people are copying books without permission, and that's a big deal because it doesn't help the publishers, it doesn't help the authors make the kind of money they should be making. Now, but this other challenge is one that actually I can relate to a bit more. Now, the digital divide. Now, why would we say there's a digital divide? Not everyone has access to these devices or reliable internet. The truth is, even for some of us that are in areas where we have internet, there's the aspect of reliable internet. And it seems that because of this, it might bring the risk of excluding those in underserved communities because it means that if we can all now use digital devices, so these people in these communities, are you saying that they won't be able to use these books? But this is only if tech comes on fully. But then, which is the other part of what I do, which is why for me and my team, we try to make sure that even everybody has access to these things, because this is where we're driving to. We're praying that as we keep talking to people, as we keep reaching out to these people, as we keep reaching out to these, we make sure that we have some form of digital, they have access to digital devices, they have access to the internet, they have access to these things, to make sure that there's no one left behind. Now, this is an interesting part. This other challenge is AI authored content. Are they real stories? I don't know if any of you have asked these questions. I've asked it now. Why I have asked this question was also because I've had to do something lately. So I told you I run a book club, and some weeks ago I was trying to get ready. So usually we get a book, everybody reads in their classes or whatsoever. I was trying to get ready, and I was totally occupied with a lot in the week, that I realized that I hadn't picked out the story we were reading and the activities. And I'm like, AI is there for me, because I had tried it out on some stories. And so what I did was I had an idea in my mind of the kind of story I wanted to create. So I put a prompt and typed what I wanted the story to look like, and the tone and everything. But then, excuse me, please, I didn't write the story. I just gave AI an idea of what I wanted the story to be about, and that I wanted some questions out of it. Voila, and it gave me two amazing stories. I tweaked it a little, changed some names, did this, and brought another response. I looked at it again, tweaked it, and then it was perfect for me. And that was what we read that day. The children were excited. They loved the story. Da da da. This, da da. Mm. So the question is, are they real stories? What defines originality? And I would say that because it feels like now we say, if someone wrote the story on AI, so is it an original story? After all, you didn't write it. How do we maintain the human touch in storytelling? Now, for me, I would say how we maintain the human touch was what I said I did. I had the story, I had a concept in mind, I put a prompt in, and then I tweaked it when I got a response of what I wanted to see, how I wanted it to be. But it still means that this is a challenge, because it feels like, are people going to still? Do we still have originality? Do we still have creativity? These are things to worry about. Do you have any other challenge in your mind? Is there any other aspects that you probably will worry about? Let me know in the chat box if there's something you always are concerned about with the rise of technology, with the rise of AI, audiobooks, ebooks. But then let's look at what the future holds. Let's look at what the future holds for books, for readers, writers, and publishers. I believe that you're all following. Now, the future of storytelling is multi-sensory, inclusive, and borderless. What do I mean? Fantastic. Okay, Sophia said, I'm worried about plagiarism, which is very true. Yeah, originality. So I agree that you'd say that originality, plagiarism, which is why there's this need for everyone to actually know how to do these things, because it can be easy for us to talk about it and say, is it original? But if you learn how to use these technologies, it might be easier, because then you know what to do, what not to do, how to do, and then it helps you even stand out. Because if this is where we are, we might worry about it and stay in our worry zone and are not able to solve these problems. But where we have people learning about the technology, learning what to do as the day goes, we are standing ahead of it. We know what to do, how to handle it, and protection or security of original works, which is true, which is why they're also, the funny thing is, this is what technology actually does. If you What people are doing now also are securing their projects on the blockchain. But that's another that's another story. That's another thing, another place. But funny enough, the more we're getting into these kind of places, the more technology is also providing more secure ways to protect people's work, protect people's property. This is why I'm saying that we all need to find out. We all need to just learn every day. Find out what can I do? Where are these things? Because if we're not learning, if we keep saying that we're in the realm, we're in the age of technology, we need if we keep saying it and not acting on it and not learning new skills, not learning the different things. You can't be a publisher in this day and age and not try to even know how to use AI, not try to know how to protect yourself also, because you just keep going. And funny enough, at that point, you find out that yes, your work isn't original. Because I think okay, let me leave that so that we don't. I will go back to the worry when we have when we're done with our slides. So we'll go back to all those questions and concerns. So first, I was saying that the future of storytelling is multi-sensory, inclusive, and borderless. Now, why are we saying so? It brings in everything. It helps you. It helps you see, feel, read, hear everything. It's not restricted to a certain type of people. I hope you know that there was a time that even right now, let's even say there was a time. You know that there's some books that are published and then they're not sent for distribution until the next year. Doing. They still kind of do it right now because you find out that there's some things that even on the internet we can't see. But then now it helps us with hybrid storytelling. And what do I mean by hybrid storytelling? It's combining traditional books with tech in the sense that they're interactive stories for children, in the sense that a child can be reading a book, they can hear the sound, they can sometimes while they read and they click on something, it vibrates, they can hear the sound, they can see pictures. It's multi-sensory, it's helping them feel, see, hear, and the story is a bit more real to them. Now, inclusive formats. This is amazing because books that adapt for people with disabilities or in different languages. We talked about it earlier. You know that with these books, a blind man can actually listen to an audiobook. And it's a bit more interesting because they can sometimes you can hear if a book is saying the wind was heavy. It comes with that effect where they hear the wind, they hear the sound. He enjoys the book. He enjoys the book. Being blind doesn't mean he shouldn't be able to read a book. So I believe that, and then especially again, like we said, for languages, people from different languages, and you read a book, it's English, but man, I don't speak English, I understand French, or I don't, you know, it helps everyone. It includes everyone into the plan. It's not leaving people, we're not leaving people out of it, but it includes everyone into the plan. And then collaborative publishing. Now, this is easier because I don't get to stay in my own space and do this, but I can actually collaborate with other publishers. Now, I hope you know that people are coming together to write books easier in these tech platforms. Now, sometimes you can say, oh, me and my friend or somebody or someone else, we want to write a book. Now, you don't even necessarily need to know the person, but the person is skilled and you can collaborate to publish books, to write books, or get two authors for publishers, get two authors, bring this together in communities. Two people that have qualified or they're very good at different aspects of their of a topic, and they bring them together, write a story, talk about these things. Life is made easy. I hope that you even agree with me so far. I understand how, truthfully, it's easier to just pick a book, a hard copy book. I still do. I still have stacks of them. Some of them I haven't even read. Most of them. It's also still sweet. I see a shelf of books and I am thrilled. I'm still very excited. Like the idea of just seeing books is like we said, we have a bookstore beyond the book club, and every time I'm stocking books, I'm getting new stock of books it's like it's like preparing for a new baby for me. It's still very exciting, but then I must also learn that I need to I should be willing to transition. I should be willing to enjoy a book, whether it's hard or it's soft or it's an ebook, whatsoever. I should be willing to enjoy it because, truthfully, I should be bored. I should be somewhere and I should just pick a book to read. So we've talk. I'm just going to summarize a little here, then we can go on. So here, my final thoughts are saying here says books and technology can work together to make reading fun and open to all. I hope that you agree with me on this because with the way time has gone, books on its own they're amazing. Technology on its own is amazing. A blend of both will be life transforming. So let us use tech to help more people read and write their own stories. We talked about how that because of tech, more we have more authors rising, we have more people. We have young children wanting to write a story, and it's easy these days. Get them to type their stories quickly. You have designed a cover on using another technology platform. You designed the book cover. You've done everything. Your book is done, and you begin to start talking about distributing or showing people a book is written. It doesn't really have to be such a big deal anymore. This is where we're going to, and it really doesn't mean that the world has ended or it means that someone is stealing something. If you have an original story, then let it out. You can still use technology to push. It's easier to push. You write your story by yourself. Fine. It doesn't have to be AI. Write your story. AI can help you edit. AI can help you edit. AI can help you clear errors, arrange terms. It doesn't have to change your story, but it can help you do stuff that an editor would have taken maybe 2 weeks, can be done in a few minutes. It can be done in a few minutes. So I believe that it's easier. Now, technology should never replace the soul of a story, which is what we're saying. It should never replace the soul of a story. Because, I mean, I hold a book, open it and read. I hold a tab, open it and read. It's the same words, the very same words we're saying. All you need to do is read it, enjoy it. It should only help more people to hear it. This is what we're saying. Help more people to know about your books, which is why we're saying that technology can help you push your story far and wide. It can help. You can be in one village here and you write a book and you decide that you want a lot of people. You want people in Spain to read this book. And in case they can't speak English, then I write it in Spanish. You've translated, and someone is wow, someone feels really glad that they got to be a part of your story. This is what we should do with technology. Now, because I like to work with children, my last quote there is still focused on children. Not because it can't work with adults, but the truth is, this is where my passion because it's pretty difficult to get an adult to read a book. It's pretty difficult to get an adult to read a book. So it says a book in hand of a child is a seed for the future. Nurture it and watch the world transform. You put a book in a child's hand, get them to read, get them to enjoy reading, and it will be building their minds. It will build their creativity. Some of us today are what we read while we were younger. And this is where I'm going to bring it to an end because I've used up almost all the time and we have like 15 minutes here. So I hope I hope this was helpful. I hope you understood any part of it. And if you have anything you'd like to say, any further questions, any other thing you'd like to discuss your worries, like I said, the truth is there's no concern, there's no part of our concerns that technology doesn't help. Truthfully, every corner of the concern, technology helps. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for allowing me come and spend time with you. I hope you had a good time as I did. please let me know. Excuse me. I've been talking. And now I'm checking. But I personally did have a good time talking about this. So please let me know if there's any other thing you'd like to share. Thank you, Dominica. Thank you. Thank you. Is there anything you'd like to share? Any question at all? And then we can talk about it quickly.
Thank you so much,
We can do that in
Rolanda.
5 minutes.
We can actually unmute ourselves and ask questions. If you have any question, you can ask. If you have any comment, it must not necessarily be a question though. So the floor is open now. You just have to raise your hand to be allowed to
Yeah,
speak.
it doesn't necessarily have to be a question. A comment will help, like my gist buddies. Okay. I'm not sure we have any comments, but if you had a, if you, I shouldn't just say have a good time. Had a good time. If you think that this was an interesting time for you, please just write it in the comments. Just say something. We can also say thank you to. I hope I always get the name right. Big's Odyssey, right? Say something. If you're just saying thank you to them, if you think there was something you got out of it, if you're also going to be, aha, someone should address the concerns. We kind of did. Let me go back to it. I feel like we don't have all the time. Let's see. Let me go back to the concerns. So I see so tech tools make it difficult to use, make it difficult for us. Oh, hold on, it went up. Make it difficult for us to even put our brain to work these days. Now, I agree that this is this is how it feels. I totally agree. But the truth is, if you have an idea, tech isn't supposed to make us blare, not work. It's supposed to help enhance what you're doing. It's supposed to help lazy and not want to do it. But then, like I told you, I had a story in mind. I had an idea. It would have taken me another maybe 3 days. So some it may have taken me that day to do it, but then I had the idea, I had the thoughts, and it helped me come up with a story. I didn't copy and paste. I tweaked it, changed stuff, adjusted, asked again to send back, and then this is why I say that it's easy to actually just fall and enjoy, let it happen. But then if you really want to be an original, if you want to provide original work, then you should be ready to put in the work. You should be ready to do the real deal. There are a lot of people, of course, just giving us a lot of junk, but that's okay. It's an individual race. Everybody do just on your own, do what's right and make it good. Let me see. What other concern is there? Protect her protection and security of original works. I was saying that in that aspect, truthfully, there are ways to protect your work, which is what technology actually is more about, which is why I said some people protect their work on the blockchain. Right now it's a bit, because that's a bit more secure way to protect their work. It cannot, nobody is tampering with it, but this is in the knowing. You need to be aware, you need to actually read, you need to find out. So these things can be done, we just don't know, we're just not aware. Yeah, I think we talked about originality and all. My own, or the only thing, not the only thing, or one thing I'm just going to say to everyone is, as much as we enjoy, we want to blend them in, as much as we want to thank you. Individual value or principle has a lot to do with originality. Fantastic. That's the best. You said it the best way, in fact, because it's up to you. You can't just chill and say, after all, I can make it easy. But then, even if technology is helping you, make it, add a bit of you into it. So, but I was going to say that as much as we're going to be blending everything in, as much as we want to blend this whole thing together, let's make sure that we're learning more about everything, every aspect of our lives. We're learning more to stand out. We're not just staying in the same lane. staying on the information we know. Because even like we said from the evolution of books, it didn't stay at scrolls. It's moving further, and it's moving further for a reason. We might stay behind saying that it's stealing originality, while people are not bothered about it anymore. That's the sad part. But the truth is, you still need to get your content out. You still need to read a book. You still need to learn. So for you to be open to doing that, you must also prepare your mind to just enjoy and embrace this stage, because it's getting faster. We think it's fast now, it's getting faster. Things are just going to be this fast, and it will be irritating to an extent, truthfully. But if you're prepared enough, you should be able to stand. So, yes, please. I hope I have been able to answer most of our questions or concerns and all of that. Let me know. Thank you so much one more time before this goes off. I think we're good for the evening. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Rolanda. I'm sure that just like myself, every other person, we were able to, understand books to an extent, and the role technology has to play, and how we can even combine it. Most times, when you see these posts on LinkedIn, on social media space, some people are discouraging AI, some people are encouraging it. We just cut in the middle, but at least we can now know that we can, manage it properly and make the best out of it. So from Big's Odyssey International, we also have a book club, readers club, and
Yay.
Malala said something that it's difficult to get an adult to sit and read. So for Big's Odyssey, what we help you do is, the interesting books that you would love to sit and read. We give book reviews. You can just read through and still get the best out of what the book is about. So I think the link to our Readers Club is already in the chat box. You can click and register and
I personally would love to join the book club.
okay, the link is in the chat box. You can click the link and create a profile for yourself so that you get updated on our weekly. I mean, we have book of the month for every month, and also we have reviews, and we get to discuss the books that we read for each month. So thank you so much, everyone that joined us, those that joined earlier, and I know a good number of us had
Thank
network
you.
issues, which is bound to happen. So we would also be sharing the recorded version of this webinar on our YouTube platform, and a link will be provided to each and every one of us. So you can always go back and make reference to what you think you missed. And some persons who are not able to join in today because of
Yeah.
time and everything, the link will always be on our the recorded version will be on our YouTube platform for you to go back to anytime you're free. So thank you so much everyone that joined, and we will still communicate to each and every
Thank
one of us
you.
via email for our upcoming events and our upcoming webinars. Thank you so much, and have a good night rest.
Thank you. Good night.